regional semifinal was slipping away. Ryota's hand moved without thinking. Click, click, click. The pocket watch his only connection to a dead father. The world snapped silent. Every player, every fan, frozen in gray, mid-motion, mid-breath. The clock stopped at 11 seconds.
What? What is this? How am I still moving?
He circled his teammates, touched the ball still hanging in the air, tangible yet locked in time.
This isn't possible. Is this real?
11 seconds passed. Then, as suddenly as it stopped, the world roared back to life. Ryota stumbled. The ball stolen. His coach's whistle cut through the noise, pointing him to the bench.
Ryota, hey, you okay? You spaced out completely.
His fingers curled tighter around the watch. He didn't answer. He couldn't. The shop smelled of oil and old brass. Hiroshi, his father, taught him how gears fit together.
See this, Ryota? A watch that keeps its time is a promise kept.
Then the night came. Two men, demanding something Hiroshi refused to hand over. Ryota hid behind the counter as a gunshot echoed, and his father fell. The officer knelt, pressing the watch into trembling hands. Your father wanted you to have this. For months, he could only hold it. The weight of loss pressed into his palms. The nightmares never truly stopped. But at 17, he found a way to outrun them on the court. He wore the watch like a second skin, a promise he didn't fully understand. He had no idea what the watch could do, only that it was his father's final gift. But the watch had its own secrets. And tonight, for the first time, it had woken up. Ryota locked his apartment door. The silence pressed in, heavier than the gym crowd. He pressed the crown. Click, click, click. And the hum of the refrigerator died. A ball tossed upward froze halfway to the ceiling. The watch ticked down. 11 seconds, exactly.
It's real. This is really happening.
Outside, he paced 50 meters, then stopped the world again. Beyond that radius, a distant car kept moving. An hour later, he tried again. The crown refused. 24 hours. That was the rule.
This power, it could change everything. Or destroy me.
The next morning, he went to the court early. For the first time, he had a plan. He bounced the ball, the watch heavy against his chest. No crowd, no teammates, just himself and a secret. He would test it here, where no one could see. Afternoon practice. The gym buzzed with scrimmage noise. Ryota drew a deep breath, then pressed the crown 3 times. The world grayed out mid-play. Ryota walked through frozen teammates, shot the ball, and watched it hang in the air. 11 seconds. Then the roar returned, and the ball swished through the net. He had scored with impossible ease.
Bro, how did you get so open? That was like you teleported.
Just luck. I read their defense wrong and they overcommitted.
Ryota, stop being sloppy out there. One lucky shot doesn't make up for yesterday's zone out.
If they knew, I am cheating. Every point I score with this watch is a lie.
He needed answers. That night, he scoured old family documents, searching for the watch's origin. A faded photograph surfaced, a French soldier in a trench, holding the same watch, his great-grandfather, Jean-Luc.
What did Dad leave me? This watch is more than a memento. It's a weapon.
He unfolded the brittle letter. Jean-Luc's handwriting, a message from the trenches of 1916. I have built a device to halt time for 11 seconds. It is our only chance to break the German line.
11 seconds, just like now. He used it in battle.
A delicate blueprint revealed the watch's core. A rare crystal inscribed with temporal runes. Jean-Luc stopped time in no man's land. He walked through frozen bullets and captured a German command post. The victory was inexplicable. A German general took the blame, and his family swore vengeance.
He sacrificed his safety for this victory, this watch. It's stained with that history.
The final line of the letter. They will never stop hunting. The watch must not fall into their hands.
The robbers that night, were they after the watch? Did Dad die because of this?
The legacy of 1916 was still hunting his family. And now it was Ryota's turn. Ryota searched news archives late into the night. The general's name was von Falken. Disgraced, stripped of rank after a strategic failure in 1916, a private journal entry by his son. The watch is the key to restoring our honor. We will pursue it across generations. The von Falken family had spent a century chasing rumors of a watch that could freeze time. A legend that became an obsession.
They killed my father. They thought he had it, and they were right.
For the first time, the watch felt dangerous, not just miraculous. He couldn't let anyone else see it.
If they find me, they'll try to take it, and I can't let that happen.
He cross-referenced police reports. The robbery that killed Hiroshi had no forced entry. The assailants seemed to know exactly what they wanted. A cold realization settled. His father had died protecting him, and the watch...
I have to be careful. No more public tests. No one can know.
But even as he hid the watch under his shirt, a shadow passed outside his window. He wasn't alone anymore. That night, sleep never came. Every creak of the floorboards tightened his grip around the watch. The next morning, on his way to school, a tall man in a dark coat stood at the bus stop, eyes fixed on him.
They've found me. That coat, that stare. It's them.
He ducked into a convenience store, heartbeat slamming. When he emerged, the man was still there, closer, at school. A man waited near the parking lot. Another by the gym, always watching, never approaching. Practice became a blur. His shots sailed wide. Passes skidded off fingers. Coaches' shouts echoed, but they meant nothing.
You haven't been yourself lately. Is everything okay at home?
He can't know. If he gets involved, they'll target him too. I am fine. Just haven't been sleeping. There are some weird people lurking around my place.
Kaito's hand landed on his shoulder. If you need backup, I am here. No questions asked. Ryota only nodded. That evening, his apartment door hung ajar. Inside, drawers yawned open, papers scattered like fallen leaves.
They were inside. This wasn't just surveillance. It's an invasion. They'll do anything.
He rushed to a loose floorboard near the closet. The watch lay safe inside a small metal box.
They didn't find it, but I can't keep playing defense. I need to end this.
By dawn, a plan crystallized. Use the watch in the regional final to create a spectacle so public they'd be forced into the open. He trained relentlessly without the watch, shooting, dribbling, footwork, until his body remembered every movement. At night, he shadowed the hunters, noting their cars, their shifts, their routines. He was no longer just prey.
The final is my stage. The watch is my trap. They won't be able to hide when everyone sees what it can do.
He carried the watch wherever he went, hidden but ready. The final was his only shot at ending both the game and the hunt. He took his place on the court, the weight of centuries on his chest. 11 seconds. One chance. No more running. He stood at center court, the roar of the crowd a distant thunder. But his mind was still in his room that morning, hands clutching the watch. He'd been turning the watch over and over when his fingernail caught a seam no blueprint had ever shown.
A hidden compartment. Dad, what did you keep from me?
Inside was a scrap of paper, folded so tightly it was almost part of the mechanism. Ryota, if you find this, they are already close. The watch is cursed. Do not let them take it. Your great-grandfather gave his life for it. Forgive me. Dad, the words blurred. His father had known, had chosen to protect the watch, and him with his life.
He died keeping this cursed thing from them, and I've been using it like a toy.
But the guilt burned into clarity. There was one way to honor the sacrifice and end the obsession forever.
I'll use it one last time. Win this game. Then bury it with Dad. No one will ever chase it again.
The referee's whistle snapped him back. Ryota opened his eyes, every muscle, every nerve, coiled for what was to come. The jump ball soared. The final had begun. Ryota moved without the watch, but every pass felt a step too slow.
They're watching. Up there in the last row, waiting for me to slip.
The opposing guard, a taller, faster senior, shook off Ryota's defense and scored easily. He muttered something at Ryota as they ran back. Too slow, watch boy. The insult cut deeper than he could know. By halftime, they were down 12. The gym felt like a cage. Coach's voice was a distant buzz.
I could end this now. 11 seconds, and we'd be leading. But then what?
The third quarter was a grind. Kaito fouled out. The lead stretched to 15. Then, with 4 minutes left, a tiny opening. He drove the lane, drew the foul, and sank both free throws. The deficit shrank to 6. 30 seconds remained. On the next possession, a steal. Ryota sprinted, laid it in. The crowd erupted, 4 points behind. 11 seconds left.
11 seconds. The exact number. This is it. No more holding back.
The inbound pass flew. Ryota caught it with 11 seconds on the clock. Every eye on him. His hand slid to his chest, fingers finding the familiar crown under his jersey.
One last time. For Dad.
Click, click, click. A golden pulse erupted from his chest. The roar of the crowd choked into silence. Colors drained to gray, and the world froze. 11 seconds on the clock. Not a flicker. He was the only thing moving on the court.
7 shots. 11 seconds. Make them count.
He stepped past the frozen defender, snatching the ball from the air, as if it were waiting for him. First shot. Perfect form. The ball hanging on its arc. He was already moving for another. In the gray silence, he orchestrated a symphony of suspended shots, each ball a testament to what he was about to become. One after another, his shots rose, perfect arcs, frozen mid-flight. He moved with mechanical precision.
3, 4, 5. Keep the arc high, the rotation tight. Everyone must fall.
He plucked the ball from a frozen defender's grasp and fired again, the net never rippling until it was time. The 7th ball left his fingertips just as the watch's golden pulse flickered, its last second of power. The 11th second hit, the gray world shattered. 7 basketballs, each on its own perfect arc, shredded the net in a single deafening moment. The scoreboard stuttered, jumped, and then flashed a lead that defied explanation.
What? How did he do that? That's impossible.
Ryota stood at the 3-point line, chest heaving, as the crowd's roar turned to stunned silence, then erupted into chaos. He looked up. The hunters were on their feet, faces twisted with fury. They knew. Teammates mobbed him, hoisting him into the air. But Ryota's gaze stayed locked on the stands. Max was already shoving through the crowd, his cold eyes fixed on Ryota like a target.
They're coming. I have to get out of here before they corner me.
He wriggled free from the celebration, patting Kaito's shoulder. I need a minute, and slipped toward the sideline. Coach's voice echoed, but Ryota blocked it out, his eyes on the locker room tunnel as the only escape. Max's henchmen flanked the exits. They weren't just watching anymore, they were hunting. Ryota ducked into the tunnel, roar of the crowd dimming behind him. The corridor was empty for now.
This is it. Last stand. They'll be here any second.
He pressed his back against the cold lockers, the watch clutched in his fist. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed behind him. The door slammed open. Max stood framed in the light, his two men behind him.
That little trick was a mistake, boy. Now the whole world knows what you have, and we never leave empty-handed.
You are the ones who killed my father. This watch, you've been chasing it for 100 years.
It belongs to the Von Falken family. Your great-grandfather stole it, and your father paid the price. Now hand it over.
He'll kill me the moment he gets it. But if I use the watch again, it might be the last time it ever works. You'll kill me anyway. Why should I make it easy for you?
Because dying quickly is mercy. Cross me, and I'll make sure you suffer like your father did.
The watch. I felt it recharge during the celebration. I have one more use. Dad, give me strength. You are right. I should hand it over, but not to a monster.
His thumb pressed the crown.
Don't you dare.
Click. The world grayed again. Max's lunge halted midair, his face a mask of frozen rage.
11 seconds. No room for error.
He moved fast, pulling a zip tie from his pocket, a habit from his training, and strapped Max's wrist to the locker handle. He grabbed his phone from the bench, dialed the emergency number, and spoke clearly into the silence. North High locker room. 3 armed men. Just confessed to murder. The line beeped confirmation. The watch's golden glow pulsed, a countdown. He had seconds left. Ryota slipped out the back exit, the frozen forms of his enemies behind him. Time snapped back. From the locker room, a shout of confusion and rage echoed as Max found himself bound. Ryota burst into the night air, the distant wail of police sirens already closing in.
The game's over. Now I have to bury this ghost forever.
He didn't stop running until he reached the edge of the parking lot, where police cars converged. Ryota ducked behind a parked van, his breath ragged as the first police cruiser screeched to a halt. Officers poured out, storming the locker room entrance. Max's roar was audible even from here.
You think this ends here, boy? The watch will curse your bloodline until it's returned.
Ryota held his gaze without flinching. The officer shoved Max into the back seat and slammed the door. The taillights faded, and the sirens died into the night. Silence returned. Ryota sank onto a bench near the empty court, the golden watch heavy in his palm.
It's finally over. But what do I do with this now?
He turned the watch over in his hands, the moonlight catching the worn inscription. The answer was already there, buried with his father. Ryota walked alone through the silent streets, the watch a cold weight in his palm. The cemetery gate swung open easily. He walked inside, the gravel crunching under his shoes. He stopped before his father's grave, the moonlight carving the name Hiroshi into the stone.
Dad, I finally understand. This watch wasn't a treasure. It was a chain. You died to keep me free. Now I choose to be free too. Forgive me for taking so long. Forgive me for using it. I am letting go.
He placed the golden watch on the cold stone, the chain clinking softly. Tears traced his cheeks, but he didn't wipe them. He let them fall. He rose and walked away, leaving the watch to guard his father's rest. Ahead, the path was dark, but the first light of dawn crept over the horizon. 3 days later, the news broke. The Von Falken ring was shattered. Ryota stepped onto the court without the watch for the first time.
You are actually smiling. I haven't seen that in forever.
It's easier to smile when you're not looking over your shoulder.
Practice began, and his body remembered the endless hours of lonely drills, but now, his mind was finally quiet.
Dude, your shooting percentage is off the charts today.
Every basket is mine. No shortcuts, no guilt. Just this.
They ran drills until sunset. The watch never mentioned, never needed. As they packed up, Kaito tossed him a ball and grinned.
Whatever you did to level up, keep doing it. This team needs you.
Ryota caught it, a genuine smile breaking across his face. For the first time in years, he was just a boy with a ball. 4 years later, the college gym roared. Down by 2-3 seconds on the clock, the ball found Ryota's hands.
No watch. No shortcuts. Just muscle and memory.
He rose for the three-pointer, the defender lunging, time feeling frozen even though it wasn't. The buzzer screamed as the ball arced and cleanly sliced the net. Pandemonium. Teammates mobbed him, but Ryota stood still for a moment, looking up.
That one was for you, Dad. All of them will be.
No one noticed the empty space on his chest where a golden chain once rested. The watch was never the power. It was the cage, and he had finally unlocked himself. He smiled to himself, knowing the truth that needed no proof. He had always been enough. 11 seconds had once changed his life. But a lifetime of his own, that was what he'd make. Years later, Ryota returned to the cemetery. In his hand, he carried a championship trophy. The watch still rested on the stone, weathered and still. He knelt beside it without a word. He didn't touch the watch. Instead, he set the trophy at the base of the grave. He stared at the two objects, the chain that bound him, and the proof he was free.
Thanks, Dad. I finally kept the promise you couldn't. I lived my life.
A gentle breeze stirred, and a single tear traced his cheek. Then a smile. He rose, patting the cold stone fondly, and turned away. The watch remained overgrown with wildflowers, a monument to sacrifice. But Ryota didn't look back. He walked into the sunlight, unburdened. The weight was gone. He was just a man who had learned to time his own life. The sun hung low over the court as Ryota spun a basketball between his palms. He was waiting for something. He looked down at his bare chest, the faint tan line, a forgotten scar. No weight, no ticking. He heard the squeak of sneakers. Kaito jogged onto the court, already trash-talking.
Dreaming about the past again. Come on, old man. Let's see if you can still shoot.
Still, the loudest one here, but I'll give you a head start. 10 seconds.
They moved across the court like they had never stopped. The ball danced between them, a language only they understood. Soon, the others joined. The court filled with laughter. A team that was more than just players. And in the center of it all, Ryota moved freely, unburdened, unwatched, alive. The watch was a memory now, not a curse, not a gift, just a chapter. And it was closed. The game went on, and so would he. The years were kind to this quiet corner of the world, blanketing the stone with wildflowers and peace. The watch, still nestled among the blooms, held its final secret, a century of waiting. A golden light flickered over the dial. Its work was done. The magic slipped away like morning dew, leaving only a memory. All that remained was a golden keepsake and a promise fulfilled, left to bear witness under the sun. Then, in the hush of the graveyard, time itself seemed to stop. The watch stopped, but his time began. For Ryota, each second was now a gift, unmeasured, unbound, and entirely his. And his own time was just beginning, full of the game that would never end.